Talk about recidivism. You've been in prison how many times?
4.
And you would think that one time would do the trick.
Yeah. Prison don't teach you nothing. When you first get locked up, if you go to jail for a short amount of time, you miss your family like crazy, but you're not really there long enough to let it sit in.
I learned that a lot of people expect that they're going to go back to
Yeah.
prison.
When you get out and, like me, for instance, I'm covered in tattoos, a long record. So I'm like, boom, when they let me out, society is going to look at me all kind of crazy.
Yeah.
People are not going to want to hire me, no matter if I change my life around or not. People are so judgmental. It kind of put me in the same position, I have to go back to doing what I do,
Right.
doing what I was doing in the streets in order to take care of my family, take care of my kids, I took a plumbing class one time when I was in prison, learned a little bit about plumbing.
Yeah.
But there's so much stuff that people got going on in prison as far as just survival. Some of the stuff that they teach in them classes, man, it goes in one ear and out the other because you're worried about so many other things.
What do you think has been some of your biggest struggles or hurdles in life?
Dealing with the death of my son is probably the biggest.
Yeah.
And now it's really, my biggest struggle now is I feel like I don't do enough for God. I've been home for over 2 years, I think, and done so much in those 2 years. I mean, it's mind blowing. I made a checklist when I come home from prison, all the things I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them was outrageously crazy, but I mean, dream big. I've done completed over 50% of that paper.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff I haven't got me a nice Ford F-100 truck. I don't got me a big nice boat yet. But I mean,
It's big bass boat.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. I've just financially couldn't afford to get. I want to start a ministry. I want to work with troubled youth, and people that's addicted to things. People that's might have lost kids or stuff in their life. People that's going through stuff, and I'm struggling now to to find sponsors or how to get my name out there, or how to start programs and stuff like that.
Right.
But one of my biggest struggles now is, back then it was overcoming addiction and the urge to people. Found out that I was doing the right thing, people would reach out to me and try to pull me back down, or stuff like that, and just learning to walk away from that, say no, and really worried about what other people think about you. That was one of my main things to kind of, it's like, what, man, you've been this highly feared man in the streets, in the community, your name known worldwide. Now what are you doing? Like, and some people will belittle you so much, man, and it does so much to your to yourself on the inside, man, and just the fear of like not being accepted again, and being lost out in the world has been some of my main struggles. But like I say, now all those struggles they've come and gone. Now I just battle with, am I being a good enough father, or what more can I do for my friends, what more can I do for my wife, my kids, my family, and stuff like that. That's my main struggles now.
The Mission Advance nonprofit kind of has a saying, moving forward and upward in life. And that's when I was working in prisons, that was the trajectory that I wanted all the guys in my class to make. From taking this class, I wanted them to have the tools to move forward and upward in life. And we talked a little bit about on the boat, what does God have to do with you overcoming that lifestyle? How did he fit into the picture?
I get chill bumps.
Yeah.
Everything, man. God has been my main. That's my main man. God he's everything to me. Some people can be successful without him on this earth. It ain't eternal successfulness.
Yeah.
But it is while they're on this earth. But for me, God has been my motivator, and God has been one of the main reasons why I am where I am today. But God, when I depended on myself alone to get to know God and try to figure things out, I failed miserably because I didn't understand nothing. And that's why I just think it's so important.
You were that Ethiopian.
I was the Ethiopian man. I was reading the scripture, but I didn't know what I was reading. The Bible is so confusing, and trying to, a lot of people think that, I'm just going to pray and give my life to God, get on my knees. I get this warm, fuzzy feeling. I'm saved. I'm feeling good. A week or two later, nothing's changed and everything's back the same. People think Christians don't struggle and don't have hard lives, and that's a lie. Yeah. We go through struggles and we do stuff all the time, but you can't just pray and think something's going to happen. They do. They got a saying called push. Pray until something happens.
Right.
Well, it don't work like that. It really don't.
Because you could pray for that $1 million.
Yeah, you got to.
And then blame God when it doesn't happen.
Faith without works is no good.
Yeah.
You know, the same amount of energy you put into running the streets trying to get that next high or get that next hit, or the same amount of energy you put into stealing somebody's car or whatever you did in life, put that same amount of energy in doing the right thing or getting to know God. You know, that Bible is, get you a study Bible.
I was going to say, hold that up.
I got this Bible right here.
That's an apologetic study Bible.
It's an apologetic study Bible.
For somebody who wants to go deeper.
I got it on Amazon. In the front of this Bible, what I like about this Bible, in the front of it, any kind of question you would ever want to know, you know, is it okay to have doubts? Does the Bible contain errors? What do different religions believe? I mean, is this bad? Is this? Any kind of question that you want to know is broke down in this Bible. And it's just not broke down on a biblical standpoint. Yeah. It's broke down, and it's got facts and pictures and stuff in there. But really, for me, man, it wasn't until I had people like you. There was a guy in the county, this guy named Simon.
Yeah.
You know, he was an inmate too, but he was a powerful speaker. It wasn't until people like that started actually breaking stuff down in that Bible.
Yeah.
And when you read the Bible, you can't just read it like a book. What I'll do is I'll read a couple verses, and then I'll go back and reflect, and I'll try to break them down. Because, you know, the Bible speaks a lot in parables, and different things mean different things, and it'll confuse you, you know. But it wasn't until, you know, I really started putting forth the effort. Because I believe that you can't just pray to want to change and God's going to open up all these doors for you and show you all this stuff. No, he's not going to do that. You know, he's not going to do that at all. You know, that's just like going to somebody and say, oh, I'm about to change my life and I need this, and they just run out and spend thousands of dollars on you and get you. No, you got to put in work.
Yeah.
You know, you got to put in the work to get to know God and be. Yeah. And once you do, man, it's overwhelming and it's so powerful, man. And God's done did so many miracles in my life. And, you know, I'm a firm believer. A lot of people sit here and say, oh, if God loved you, why'd he let your son die? That was one of my main things. Like, why'd you let my son die? Or why did you do this? Why are you letting me get evicted? Why are you letting me go through all these struggles? And people don't realize sometimes God lets you go through things to save you from something bigger in the long run.
Yeah.
And when we was born into this world, we was born with free will.
Yeah.
Could you imagine a world where people could do whatever the heck they wanted to do because God was going to bail them out of any situation?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I can run in here and rob all these stores. I can do all this stuff. Nobody's going to get hurt because God's going to save it. So I can run in here and do all the drugs I want to do and act crazy and wild out because God ain't going to let me get sick because he's going to save me. I mean, that the world would be so chaotic. God allows us to have free will, and he also allows this earth to have free will. He allows the things of this earth to happen.
Yeah.
But one thing he will do, and he allows you to go through them things too because it's free will. He can't just go around, I mean he could, but he's not just going to go around and try and make everybody's situation better when people are out here doing, you know, a lot of people out here doing the wrong things, doing bad things and stuff like that. So God allows free reign. He allows just the world to happen, the world to take place, and people go through things. People with sicknesses, deaths, you know, hardships. But one thing he will do if you keep your faith in him and you pray and you just keep putting in work and you believe, he will get you through things. And he'll also open your mind and start showing you things that this is why this happened, or this is why I put you here, you know, to keep from, you know, he opens up doors and he just gives you a vision that they're just out of this world. As humans, man, we're blind. We have spiritual blindness. Even though you can see, you might have 20/20 vision, you can see everything that's going on around you. Until you get to where God lifts that spiritual blindness off your eyes, you haven't seen life, man. You haven't seen real stuff. You know, God has showed me so many things, and you know, he's got me through so many things with losing my son and just everyday struggles. When things bad happen to me in life, to me, there's a positive in every negative. You know, and God's going to get you through. He's not going to let you go through more than you can handle. You know, and he's going to guide you, man. He's going to be there. So to me, God was everything. You know, he's the reason why I'm here, where I am. It was no easy road. I'm still confused. I still ask you all kind of crazy questions
Well,
about the Bible. It's okay to doubt.
I get confused too.
It's okay to not know. You know,
Yeah.
we're human. But the more you put into that word and the more you put into God, God will change you.
Now, I think a key component, and you touched on it, you got close to God and you started reading the Bible. What did that do to your sense of what is right and what is wrong in your life?
It opened up a lot. It wasn't until after I got through the Old Testament that it started kicking in, because the Old Testament, there's a lot of killing, a lot of war,
It's
a lot of
tough
crazy
read,
stuff. Yeah,
It's a tough read.
it's a tough read.
I mean, because obviously your prior life, you were doing things that ended up with you going to prison and just getting in trouble, and now your
an evil,
worldview and your mindset's totally different about right and wrong.
I was an evil person.
Yeah.
I hated mankind. I hated humans. I didn't like nothing. I was just evil. I had so much hatred in my heart. I didn't feel bad about nothing. I didn't cry about. Nothing. But now I'm the total opposite. Reading that word, God. What I think happens is God knows your heart when He knows you're sincere. But you can't pull nothing over His eyes.
Yeah.
He knows every thought. He knows your heart. And when God knows that you're sincere, He renews your mind. He renews your heart. He renews how you think about things and how you process things. And it wasn't until then that I started realizing the rights and the wrongs.
Yeah.